Well, I'm Michelle, and coming up on June the 8th is another one of our great concerts, and we are looking forward to meeting up with Presence Music Band from Duluth, and along with them, their friend Dan Bremnes. We hear from Dan here on his music on Psalm FM each and every day, and now we have him joining us live from Nashville, and soon to be live in Nashwauk, Minnesota. Good morning, Dan. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning.
It's good to hear your voice and talk to you, and we always like to find out about our artists, and it just is nice to connect with you in person and get a feel for your music, your ministry, and even your faith and your testimony. So I know you live in Nashville now. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up.
Yeah, I live in Nashville, but I grew up in Canada on the West Coast in British Columbia in a very small town called Salmon Arm.
Salmon Arm. That sounds interesting. What kind of a
Yes.
what kind of a place was that?
Yeah, well, it was beautiful. Salmon Arm. It comes from like this. The lake is shaped like an arm, and there's salmon in the lake, so it's very on the nose. It's a very literal name.
Perfect.
And grew up there as a pastor's kid, and just had dreams of doing music and traveling and now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Wow. So this has been a dream since when you were young. You've been musical all your life?
Yeah. I mean, some of my first memories were just watching people on stage and thinking like, man, if I could do that, that would be the best. I started on the drums. Didn't think I could sing. My mom, at a young age, told me, I think you could sing. And I didn't believe her because I think everyone's mom tells them they can sing, right?
Yeah, right.
And but she was right. I just kept doing it and started writing music and moved from playing drums to singing and to recording, and yeah, it's been fun.
Wow. So has it been everything that you'd hoped it would be?
I mean, I think different, but there's definitely been moments of like, wow, this is a dream come true, and then moments of this doesn't feel like a dream come true, right? Which I think is everybody's journey, and it's those moments that actually make us, teach us, redirect us, humble us. If we allow them, bring us closer to God.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned that you were a pastor's kid, so could I ask you to give us a bit of your testimony? Because I know sometimes we just look at that and go, okay, well, he's always been a Christian. Life's been easy. So tell us how that goes.
Yeah, well, you said always been a Christian. Somebody told me once, I never forgot it. They said the longest journey a Christian takes is about 12 inches, the journey from your head into your heart. And I would say that's my journey as a pastor's kid, being born into church and quote unquote knowing all the answers in my head. I woke up one day when I was around 17 years old, and I was like, man, I know a lot about God, but I don't know if I know God. And that became my journey, was really seeking after God to see if I could figure him out for me, So that was my struggle and also my journey. It's just seeing a lot of people find God and then realizing I kind of need to do that too. Just because I'm like born into this, it doesn't make me anything. It's just I'm here, right? So that kind of became my journey, and I started to, around the age of 17, I started to dig into God and worship and the Bible, and it's the journey I'm still on, and it's been the best journey, the journey of a lifetime, discovering God for myself.
Yeah. So what would you say God has taught you? If there's something that you would tell somebody who's maybe on that journey right now or has those questions right now?
Well, if you ask me today, I would say God has taught me that faith is letting go constantly of control. And I think it can be easy to feel like being in control is spiritual, And of course, we have to try our best to be responsible and quote unquote, control our own lives, make decisions, make the right decisions. But I've really found a lot of freedom in letting go of control, specifically of my future and my past, and just being in the presence of God. And I think for me that's been huge. And I think that's what faith looks like. I'm reminded every day that, like, I'm not thinking about 10 years from now or even 5 weeks from now. I have today. It might be all I have, and I'm taking the steps of faith today without any guarantees. It's like taking those steps without knowing if there's going to be pavement underneath them. And I struggle with it, but I also know how much I need it.
That's beautiful. I think that's a really good way to look at life, and to be able to put yourself in God's hands and let him be in control. So Dan,
Yeah.
do you write your own songs?
I do.
And where do those come from?
They come from usually what's going on in my life. I write with other people a lot, so I'll show up and have some conversations, and we'll start to write music, and we'll just usually big themes of what's happening. My latest single that is at radio is a song called "Call Your Name," and that one was like, I remember sitting in a writing room one day and just feeling like I need to write about my faith journey. People have asked me about it a lot, and I've never had like a story to tell until that day. It's just like, we started writing, and it's kind of like the wind came and helped us write this song. And yeah, it's moments like that of finding something that really matters, and whether it's a struggle or whether it's a breakthrough, I think it's worth talking about, because at the end of the day, we're not all so different. We're all going through the same things. We're all wrestling with faith. We're all trying to figure life out and trying to do it right, and trying to please God and be the best we can, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And doing that with his help, and you are testifying that to others through your music.
Right.
Dan Bremnes with us. He is going to be in Nashwauk, Minnesota at Nashwauk Alliance Church on June the 8th. You can get tickets now at danbremnes.com. Dan, what can we expect from a Dan Bremnes concert?
Some music for sure.
That's good.
This one in particular, I have a few albums I've put out over the years, so I'll be playing a lot of those songs. But right now I've been working on a project called Hero and the Villain, and the first half of that project is coming out just actually right after this little tour. So I'll be playing some new songs that people haven't heard before, and some that they have. But also I'll be sharing that just the latest season I've been going through, which I think we all are, and that's that wrestle of faith. And how do we wake up every day and deal with this thing called life? And I think that God is really interested in it. I think it's tempting to feel like our problems should disappear and that everything should be great. But I think that we're all trying to figure out all these things that we don't understand, and I think that's where God meets us, is in the middle of that. And I really want to talk about that stuff, and hopefully share in a way that helps people deal with what's happening in their life right now.
It's walking that journey together and sharing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, Dan, have you ever been to Minnesota?
I have, of course. I love Minnesota.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we look forward to having you here. So,
yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be good. This is my first date I've done on my own in a while, so it's all around exciting.
Okay. Now let me go back and ask you just about, do you have family there in Nashville, kids? Or?
Yep. Yeah, I've got a wife and 2 kids.
Okay.
We've been here for about 10 years.
All right. So that's home now.
It is.
Do you get back home to Canada much?
We try. We try to go back once a year. We're going back again this summer, so
nice.
We're looking forward to that.
All right. Very good. Well, we'll hopefully get some Canadian listeners down to see you in person as well, but we look forward to seeing you.
All my Canadians, come on down.
Maybe they can bring you some Tim Hortons.
Exactly. I know people don't like to cross the border these days, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You can come over.
Yes. We'll look forward to having as many people come out as possible to Nashwauk Alliance Church June the 8th. And tickets are available now at danbremnes.com. Dan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.